Hello, hi, good evening, and a very warm welcome to all of you in today's webinar. We will wait for a couple of minutes to allow everyone to join in and settle down, and then we'll get started. In the meantime, we will discuss few important points that will help you get the maximum benefit from today's webinar. And the most crucial point is how are you going to interact, or how are we going to interact, because this is a webinar format. So unlike a Zoom meeting wherein you can simply unmute yourself and you can personally interact, uh, it is difficult here to do that. So how are we going to interact then? If you have a question, or if there's anything that you would want to ask me, how will you do that? So for that, there are two options that we are going to use. The first one is the chat, which we are going to use quite extensively today. So that's where I'm just sharing hi to everyone using the chat. So this is the tool that we are going to use. Now, using this tool, or we are going to interact. So if there's anything on which I need to seek your opinion, I need to seek your inputs, that's where you can respond to me using the chat option. The second feature that we are going to use today is the Q&A option. So if you look down below in the taskbar, and if you're joining through a smartphone, then in the options menu down below, you will find this option wherein it has a question mark on the top. So using that, you should be asking your question. Now, if you add your question, because technically when you're chatting, you can also ask your question. But what happens a lot of time, because there's a lot of responses coming in, so there's a possibility that your question might get missed out. So that's where I would recommend that you should be not adding your question in the in the chat. You should be adding your question in the Q&A. So that is something I wanted to share with you. And I believe we still have people who are joining in. So let me welcome them as well. So, good evening and a very warm welcome to all of you. I was just sharing with everyone that in today's session we are going to use two tools. One is chat and second is Q&A. Q&A is something which we should keep exclusively for the questions, and for our interactions, we should be using chat. So, this is where I think we should get started. We should begin. And this is where I'm going to start sharing my screen, and we will proceed ahead with today's discussion. While I do that, I would need inputs from your side. So, how many of you are familiar with Global Linker? If you are, then you should type yes and chat it, or if you are not, then you can type no. And accordingly, I'll explain. So if you have many people who are not very much familiar with Global Linker, then we will spend some time there. But at this moment, okay, we have members who are not familiar with Global Linker as well. So thank you for sharing that. And this is where I'm going to start sharing my screen. And while I do that, let me share a quick introduction, because I can imagine you all must be wondering who's this person who has immediately came and started talking. So my name is Adnan. I'm Director Digital Commerce at Global Linker. Here at Global Linker, there are two roles I play. One is of a public speaker and trainer, wherein I conduct a lot of webinars, workshops, training sessions, etc. The second role is of a business head, wherein I head all the digital and technology products that we have here at Global Linker. As part of my uh, public speaker role, I had the wonderful opportunity of conducting more than 500 sessions over the year, and sharing a little bit of knowledge with about 19,000 businesses from various countries. So that's a quick introduction about myself. Now, because we have members with us who are not very much familiar with Global Linker. So I'm going to take a minute or two to give a very quick introduction about Global Linker as well, and then we'll move ahead. I hope that will be all right with everyone. Let me minimize that, because uh, a week ago, this caused my entire system to crash but during the webinar. So I am going to hide that. All right, so I hope my screen is visible. I think it is still coming through. although I can see it on the other monitor that it is, but it will help if you can also confirm, and if it is properly visible, there's nothing blurry, etc. Otherwise, I'll start the screen share once again. So you can again use the chat and let me know. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Raviji. Thanks for confirming that it is visible. Wonderful. So starting with a quick introduction about Global Inker. What is Global Inker? And I'm not going to go in the technical detail and give a very elaborate and a confusing explanation. So simply put, Global Inker is a technology platform that helps businesses of any scale in two ways: going digital and growing digital. Going digital and growing digital. Two ways. That's how we help. How do we help them in going digital, making their digital presence? So that's where we have our own proprietary platform using which businesses can create their own websites. And for a moment, I'm going to switch the screen and show you a few examples. So they can create a B2B website wherein they can receive inquiries. So this is an example which I'm showing you. This is where any business who is into B2B, who is into export, they can create this type of B2B website. Now, if they are on the other end of spectrum wherein they want to have a online shopping or a B2C website wherein people can come and they can place an order and domestic and international customers can do that. Yes, that capability is also available on our platform. So there's another example which I'm showing you wherein domestic as well as international customers can come and place an order. You can see I have so many examples open here. I'm not going to take your time taking you all through all of them. So there's the second type of website that you can create. There's a third type wherein you can have both the things on the same website. So this is an example which I'm showing you wherein you can have the inquiry. So this is bulk buyers using, or international buyers who are wanting to source from you in bulk. They are using the send inquiry feature and sending you an inquiry that here we are interested in buying 100 units of this product. What is the price, right? And that kind of interaction. And a retail customer like me who's just interested in buying one unit, domestic or international, they can use the add to cart feature, right? So both the things. So B2B, B2C, B2B, B2C plus, so B2B plus B2C, that is also possible. Now, if you're someone who sells through a distribution network, that is also possible. We have a inquiry capability using that. Your Not inquiry capability, we have a capability using that. Any bulk buyer who would want to buy from you at a special price, they'll be able to do that. So we have that capability also available. So this is how we are helping businesses go digital. Second is grow digital. So how are we helping businesses grow digital? So obviously, website is a tool. It is an avenue through which any business can create their own digital presence. But how can we contribute in their digital growth journey? So that's where we have taken a unique approach wherein we are partnering with government bodies which have significant interest in the growth and betterment. And that's where we have partnered with a Government of India's entity called FEO, Federation of Indian Export Organizations, and we have created a platform called Indian Business Portal. So this is Indian Business Portal, which you are seeing on your screen. This is for export. So as an exporter, as an Indian exporter, you can showcase your products here, and international buyers are brought in through the Government of India's effort, through FEO's effort, and they can either directly connect with you and do business with you, or they can post their requirement in form of RFQs, request for quotations, and then you can submit your response. So this is one. Secondly, we also created our own marketplace, which is a cross-border B2B sourcing platform, wherein domestic plus international sourcing is happening. So this is where domestic B2B buying plus international B2B buying, both of that happens here. Plus, there are a lot of large corporations or large organizations which are regularly sourcing from us, because in India, there's a mandate that all public listed companies have to purchase around 30% of their raw material from SMEs, and which is sometime quite challenging. So that's where there are many companies like Marico, Wholesome Foods, etc. They are regularly sourcing through the sellers or through Global Inker from the sellers. Uh, for their regular raw material requirement. Plus, international buyers are also regularly sourcing through Global Inker from Indian exporters. Right. So this is something that we have done to create avenues. Parallelly, we operate in multiple countries, and similar to India, we also actively work in Philippines with Department of Trade and Industry, government of Philippines, and we had helped them create marketplaces for two major national exhibitions that they do, National Food Fair and National Trade Fair. So I hope this gives a quick introduction about Global Inker. Now I will straight away go to our presentation and we'll get started with today's discussion. So let's get started with that. Still, if there's anyone in the audience who is still not clear what Global Inker is, and if you would want, I will be happy to connect with you in person and explain and answer your questions. All right. So let's move ahead. Now, the topic for today's discussion is how to build a digital catalog, how to build a B2B website that helps you attract international buyers. Now, before we start discussing how to build that and what are the components, and I will provide you the copy of this presentation also in case you are wondering or thinking about that. So, I would want to clarify that unless you are intentional about this, because unfortunately, and this is something which I'm talking based on my interaction and review of possibly now around almost 1,000 export businesses, that a lot of exporters unfortunately perceive that I built a website and then magically things will start happening and there will be a long queue of international buyers wanting to buy from you. I think that sort is going to happen. So one thing which you should be very clear about, that website is a tool. It is a tool. So unless you use that tool, you'll not be able to, right? So it is like a spoon. So you have to use the spoon, but you have to still bring the spoon to your mouth only to feed you, right? So that's where it is a tool and you have to use the tool only, then you'll get the benefit. Just buying the tool and putting it in the shelf will not give you the benefit. That's what I'm trying to clarify here. Now, how many of you have this kind of website on the left side of the screen? You are seeing the common failures. Now, if you have a website and where you don't have individual product detail pages, now you must be thinking, what is individual product detail pages? So, for a moment, I'm going to switch the screen and let me take you to this example. So, let's see. Let's say this is a product. So, this is a individual product, or let's use a more simpler example. This is a agri product exporter. Let's open one of their product. Let's open SOF, Fennel. So this is one individual product. Now, if you have not created your website like this, then, or if you have just put in the names of what products, so you deal in basmati rice, you deal in black pepper, you deal just on one page, you have just added that information. If you have done that, type yes in the chat. I would be interested to know. Okay. So, firstly, I should appreciate that we have members who are honest and they are accepting. Okay. So, if you haven't done that, great. But if you have done that, wherein on just one page you have added brief information that these are the products that I deal in, that is not going to get you any benefit. Right. So, you have to be detailed. In fact, we are going to discuss all that in detail. But this is where let's start with, and this is where I would want all of you, or I would encourage all of you to take it with a fresh mindset, right? So don't consider this as a bottleneck. Okay, I have created that, I have done a mistake, etc., etc. Everything can be fixed, right? So it is not a irreversible thing or something that you haven't done which can't be in reverse. Everything can be fixed. So take it with an open mind, understand what is the best practice, what should be there, evaluate where you are, and then fix those gaps. And that's where you'll be able to achieve the desired result, right? So let's move ahead. Now, before we get started, I would want to share this case study. This case study is of a 100-year-old perfume business based out of a city called Kannauj, which is a historically very popular for perfume, essential oil, attar, etc. manufacturing. Now, they had a website but it was a very basic website which has few pages, images of products, just images of the product, no information around that, and very brief, unstructured information. It was not getting them any benefit. Now they optimized their website. And what did they optimize? So this example which I was showing you, this is the same business. So they optimized their digital presence, and they created a full-fledged digital catalog website which had all the details, and which basically overcame all the shortcomings which were there in their previous website. So earlier website had 4 or 5 pages. Now this has uh, possibly more than 150 pages, including all the products and then detailed information. Now here, just look at how detailed information is around the business. So this is where you have a page which is explaining about their export business, and then there's a page which is explaining about themselves, their export process, quality assurance and lab testing, certifications, etc. And these are all detailed pages, not just basic few lines written. So what all certifications? In fact, all the copies of certifications are also there. And then sourcing, procurement, sustainability, CSR, testimonials, case studies, all that is there. So there's a huge detail of information which is there. And again, for each product, so unlike putting everything in one place, each product has its own presence, and it can be found. So it has its own title, its own description, its own detail, everything is there. And then additionally, also blog articles. So there are multiple blog articles around the questions which people are asking. So that's where they were able to enhance their digital presence, or create a digital presence that attracts international buyers. And they were able to get international orders from Italy within 45 days of going live. So around 45 days from going live, right? So that's a huge difference that you can make by creating the right digital presence. All right. So that is something positive I wanted to share early on. So buyer expectation these days, and this is where I believe every one of us understand that AI is going to replace the traditional search. It has already started doing that. So more and more international buyers are using AI to find suppliers. But unlike Google, wherein if you search for something, you will see hundreds of results. This is where AI would recommend four, five, or if someone has asked 10, then only 10, not hundreds of. So that's where your possibility of getting in touch with those international buyers totally depends on how discoverable or AI understandable is your business, right? So that's where you have to prepare for that. And I'm going to touch on those elements as well in today's webinar. So now, coming back to our discussion, so what is a buyer's expectation? So obviously, they are looking for authenticity, that you are a genuine business, your compliance, so certifications, etc., where all you are exporting, and what is your capacity, etc. So around all that, the buyer wants to understand. Now, what are the 7 essential pages or SS? And I've deliberately reduced it because otherwise it would have been a little too frightening or scary for our audience. So that's why I've reduced it to 7. But you can increase it more, and I've shown you the example. I'll walk you through that as well. But essential, right? So these are something bare essential which should be there on your website. So homepage is essential. That's where then your about us, and about us should have more information. And then you have the product parts, and about can also have multiple pages. It is not necessary that you have to just create one page. And then certification and quality, again, it can be multiple pages in manufacturing, export markets, and contact and inquiry. So these are the essential things which should be there on your website. Now let's move and let's understand what are required for each pages. Now, this is the home page. So home page, when someone comes to your website, and generally they would be landing on the home page if they are coming directly to your website. If they're coming through a search, etc., so they possibly land on the product page, or on the category page, or on the blog article. But if they're coming directly to your website, most probably they'll be landing on your homepage. That's where very, very quickly, if your website can tell them what are you selling. I've written manufacturing here, but it implies what are you manufacturing or selling. Or if you are into trading, then what are you selling? What are you offering? Where do you export? Which all countries are you exporting? And why should the buyers trust you. So certification and testimonials. So these things should be there on your homepage. Another mistake which I often see on various websites is that on the homepage, people somehow believe that visual is everything. Yes, visual is important because human beings are visual beings and we engage with visual stimulus more. But let's be realistic also. Now we have another entity that exists with us, and that is AI. At the same time, AI has to understand, but with limited text, AI is not able to understand what are you doing, what are you offering. And if it is not able to understand you, it is not going to recommend you, right? So that's where try to have at least 200-300 word worth of content on the homepage as well. Right? I'll repeat that. Try to have at least 200-300 word of content on the homepage as well. It will help you with the SEO. It will help you with the AI discoverability as well, right? So, and keep this point that if someone is coming to your website on the homepage itself, they should be able to understand what all these 3 points. Okay. Second page, essential page is about the company. Now, when I'm saying second, this is second type. It does not mean you can't have multiple pages. Ideally, 4-5 pages you can create under the about the company, right? So, about the organization, the first page, about us or company profile, founder story, your story, our team, or management story, whatever you would want to call. Then your history or your story, 3 pages, and then about your team, infrastructure, philosophy, or if there is a social cause or something that you're associated with, environmental conservation or sustainability that you're associated with, you can include that as well. But this is where, again, you have to be as detailed as possible. Each page should be, any guesses on how many words it should have from the audience? I'm just trying to ensure that you don't fall asleep during the presentation. So, any guesses? How many words each page should have? Yeah, around 250 to 500. So 200 to 250 is like the bare minimum that you should be targeting. If you can have more, that's better. But again, it shouldn't be like unnecessary. You're copying the same text or the same thing over and over again. No, unique text. And today, in today's day and age, I don't think there's any problem or issue with creating the content using AI. You can do that very, very quickly. So focus on that, create multiple pages and as detailed and as elaborate as possible about your organization, right? So for a moment, just close your eyes and think what all a international buyer may want to know about me. I meant your business. And then try to have everything on your website, right? So anything and everything they may want to understand about you, that should be there on your website. Because understand that person, that your potential buyer may not be personally coming to your website. They may use an AI to evaluate you. Now, AI would want to look for those answers for evaluating you, understanding you. Now, if you don't have that information, then you will not be recommended or evaluated nicely and you will not be getting that order. Another thing that you have to ensure that the page has schema markup so that AI can understand it better, because AI does not look at website how we do. So that's where AI should be able to understand your have schema markup so that AI is able to understand. All right. Now we are coming to the most important aspect, and that is the product specification or the product pages. Now that's where it is very, very crucial that you have product pages on your website. So these are called PDP, product detail page, as per the technical terminology, but it simply means that each product should have its own independent existence. So let me just open this page. Now, when I'm seeing independent existence, that this page has an existence on the internet. It has its own title, it has its own meta at the back end, which is for SEO, meta title and description. It has its own title, it has its own image, it has its own description, and it has its own further long description, which we call it. And it also has information about the variations which are available or different pack sizes which are available. So all that information is available and it exists on the internet. Now, unless you have created something like this, I'm not saying you copy the thing, but technically, if each product does not have its own presence on your website, right? So if you are dealing, let's say, in black pepper and you deal in Malabar M1 grade and M2 grade. So you should have black pepper as a category, and then you should have products black pepper Telly cherry and black pepper Malabar, and then you can have variations as different grades M1, M2, etc. So that's how you have to structure it. If you are not going into this detailing, and this is where uh, this is a rather sad realization which I also have. What I've experienced is people have phenomenally nice products, but somehow they are not willing to put in, and this is also not an ongoing effort, right? You have to do it every month or every other week. You have to do that. If you are in B2C and every like every 30 days you are dropping in new styles, then obviously you have to do that. But a lot of exporters, especially in the B2B space, they don't have new products coming in that frequently. So that's where you have to put in the effort, and this is a sincere request that if you want to be discoverable, then do this effort, right? This is a effort, I understand, but not a very significant one, because you have AI to your rescue. You can use that and it will help you create a lot of this content very, very easily. But please do this effort. If you are not going into this detailing, you may have the most expensive and the most beautiful website on the internet, but it will give you zero, no results at all. Right? So do create that, right? And when you're creating the product page, let's spend a few minutes here. So when you're creating the product page, you have to optimize everything. So what does that mean? So you have to ensure that your product title is optimized. Now, a lot of website, when you'll go, you will just read the title as Chandan powder or whatever that product is, or black pepper. But this is where you have to be specifying so that AI understands that, okay, this product is for bulk and this is for available for private labeling, etc. And so you have to be clear about that. You have to be elaborate about that. So that's where you can see all the secondary terms which are important for this product. So obviously it is wholesale known for soothing aroma, etc. So these are like the keywords which are there. And then you have the secondary keywords which are around the use cases or the target audience, which is distributors, importers, private labeling requirements, etc. That's there. So you should be enhancing the product title, and then you comes the product descriptions. Again, it has to be elaborate. Just starting like few lines will not help. You have to add a lot of details to it, and the product description length should be around 100 to 200 words. Technically, you can have more also if you have a product which requires a lot of technical detailing. Yes, absolutely, you should do that. But ideally, within 100 to 200 words, most of the products can be very well explained and elaborate, and try to avoid long paragraphs. This is where, again, the entire description, you are not seeing long paragraph. This is for the simple reason that AI is not very happy with long paragraph or long form content. It likes bullet points, it likes FAQs, it likes question answer type content, right? So try to include that, and also try to have FAQs. In fact, I can show you an example also. So for each product, you understand what are the popular questions which gets asked. So include those as well, right? So you can, at the bottom, you can have a section which is generally not for human consumption, because hardly anyone will be going and reviewing these, but AI will love this. So do have this kind of a section. And obviously the images, if you don't have professionally shot images, shoot them from your smartphone and edit them using AI. Now, sometimes people ask me this question that should we be generating images using AI, or should we be investing in photo shoot? So the answer is you should be uploading the actual product images, because internet is getting filled with AI generated images, and even AI itself is not giving much value to AI generated images. So the best thing is the actual product images. So if you can get the actual product images, there's nothing like that. But if they are not very presentable and you are not feeling very comfortable sharing them on your website, just edit them. AI edited is okay, right? So I'm editing or AI is editing. That's the same thing, but they should not be AI generated. All right. So that is around the product. So most important, have individual product detail pages. Now we have compliance and quality. This is also very, very important because this is where all that credibility and trust thing comes, whether the person is coming to your website themselves or AI is reviewing your website and evaluating you. In both the cases, this is the most crucial piece of content other than the product, because obviously product is supreme because search happens for the product. No one is looking or searching for Adnan. They are searching for products. They are searching for black pepper. They are searching for sugar. They are searching for basmati rice, right? So that's where the product is supreme. And that's the most important. Then followed by this thing, because that's where your credibility and trust comes. Now this is where again you don't have to just create one pages. You can have multiple pages. I showed you that example of that perfume seller, that they had two pages. One is around the quality assurance and the second page was around the certification and compliances, right? So it varies from business to business. It is not necessary you cannot have one page. It is not necessary you cannot have three pages. Depends on your business how you would want to structure it and what type of certifications and what type of quality assurance processes, etc., that you are following, right? So that is entirely, there's no yardstick, one page or three pages or five pages. It depends on you how many pages you would want to create, but at least one is very, very necessary. And that's where again a very bad practice which I've seen in website is just adding the logos of the certifying agency. I'm certifying with this, I'm certifying with that. Okay, wonderful. I can also add all the certifying agencies logos onto my website, despite the fact that I am not verified. Now if I get caught, obviously I will be penalized for doing that, but that is something which is not very assurance giving. So that's where when you are creating these pages, you should be showing the certificates with proper heading. Just uploading the images also is not enough, because AI will not know what is this certificate, whether it is ISO certificate or whether it is a RCMC certificate from Export Promotion Council, right? So each image should have its own header so that AI can understand that, okay, this is this certificate, this is this certificate, and then it can review and understand and evaluate you. All right. So that's around the certification and compliances. If you have to see the live one, so this is where we have the quality assurance, a page around the quality assurance page, and then we have a page around the certifications. All right. So that's how you have to do it. Now comes the next part. If and this is more uh, important for people who are into manufacturing. That's where you should be having a page about your manufacturing setup, how the entire manufacturing happens, and that's where if you have a video of your manufacturing facility, you should have that, or at least shoot some good pictures of your manufacturing facility and include that. So that is one page which is very crucial if you are into the manufacturing setup. And this is where you can see take inspiration from the Chinese sellers. So if you go to any of the Chinese sellers websites, especially who are into manufacturing, you'll find all the detailed tutorial videos or videos about the factory tour and the manufacturing processes, etc., right? So in the similar fashion, you have to also do that. Now if you are someone who is into trading, that's where again you can showcase about your processing, or how the order tracking or how the quality assurance, etc., practices are done. So not the factory part of it, but the processes where you are involved and you are adding value to the international client, you should have a page around that. All right. So that is there. Now the export presence, right? This is also very important, because a lot of time when the international buyer is searching themselves or they are using AI, they try to look for people who have catered to these markets. So that's where you should also have a page which is talking about the export, right? So there I showed you export process. So that's where it details out the export process and which countries they have already exported to and what experiences, etc., they have. So a page around that should be there. And then the inquiry efficiency. Now, this is not a page. This is around how you are capturing inquiry. Now, whether it is through a contact us page, ideally it should not be, it should be a form. So if I show you an example, so if I'm interested in this particular product, straight away. So the hypothesis or the best practice is that within 10 seconds, a person should be able to inquire. Now, if they are coming to your website and there's no contact us page, or there's no inquiry button, and they are not able to find, and they have to go to some other place when spend more than 10 seconds to actually reach out to you, that's where you are. You don't have an efficient inquiry model or inquiry process. You should optimize it. And whether they are reaching out to you through WhatsApp, email, or through a form, you should work on optimizing it. The rule is it should be less than 10 seconds. Right now, just sort of sharing an update, we have recently rolled out a WhatsApp catalog feature on Global Linker. So when you're creating website on Global Linker, you can also auto sync your catalog. So what all products you have on your website, they get auto synced with your WhatsApp catalog. So you don't have to like go and upload the products again. And we are working on introducing a feature wherein people can send you inquiries. So if you come across let's say a buyer, and they have sent you a message on WhatsApp that, hey, we are interested in buying product from you, what all products do you have, you can just simply ask them that it is available in our WhatsApp catalog. They can review that and they can send you an inquiry. At this moment, the inquiry will happen from the website, but very soon we'll also be rolling out that feature wherein the inquiry can also come, or they can initiate the inquiry from the WhatsApp. And later we will also introduce a feature wherein you can even respond to the inquiry, so you as a seller can respond to the inquiries through WhatsApp. I just sort of sharing that update. The WhatsApp catalog feature, by the way, and notification feature is already live. So wherein uh, if they have sent you an inquiry, they'll be notified that, hey, we have received the inquiry. Or if you are a B2C seller, then all the order notifications, etc., will start going through WhatsApp. So that integration is already available, and you can should start utilizing it. All right, so now we have the SEO visibility, and that's where what is needed is the keyword strategy. Now, again, creating keyword strategy conventionally or historically was something which required a SEO specialist, but now using AI, anyone can do that. You even don't need a computer science or a technical knowledge or expertise. If you can type, then you can easily do that. But this is where you'll have to create a keyword strategy, understand which are the keywords which are relevant to you, which are relevant to your target audience and user intent. A lot of time when people are creating or doing this keyword research, and even professionals, I'm not just talking that the people who are doing it DIY, even professionals, I've seen this big gap with regards to the keyword strategy or the keyword search that they are doing, or keyword identification that they are doing, that they don't focus on the target market, the target audience, and the user intent. If you focus or if you incorporate these, who is your target audience, their profile, what is the target market, United States, Europe, United Kingdom, New Zealand, Australia, whatever is your target geography, and then what is the user intent, what type of commercial knowledge, transactional B2B is not there, it should be more commercial intent. But what is the user intent behind those keywords? And that's where you'll give a much richer keyword, and then you should be incorporating them in your website. Now here I've added something which was important, I wanted to share with you. So a lot of time when I am reviewing websites, I noticed that people somehow have this very bad habit of adding the company name in the meta title or description. So if you go to Google and you search for something, the what comes on the top is your meta title. That's where it is seeing on the top, it is seeing that it is from your website. There is no benefit that you're getting by adding your brand name here. Every industry is brand name. Like, why are you wasting your own precious space? You can use that to add a relevant keyword that will give you better discoverability, right? So don't do that. So this is where I've added best wall manufacturer from India, rather than ABC Industries, industrial wall supplier, best company from Gujarat. This will like reduce your or make you geographic focus, custom forging services or our product, right? So instead of just adding a page with a title our or with a meta title, our services, custom forging services, so that is more focused on the user intent or what user is wanting. Now you should also have a content marketing strategy. Now, content marketing strategy or content marketing as such, the word appears very scary and menacing. Like you need a social media expert or you need some influencers or someone. But this is something which you can do very, very easily and something which you can start from your own website. Product guides, like how can you use your product, right? So if you are into those kind of products, so for example, perfume, so that's where how it can be used by a person or for the different uses in pharmaceuticals, etc. Applications, how these products are to be used, or you can have a technical blog because all of you are product specialists, right? I was talking about black pepper and all that knowledge came because I interacted with a agri product exporter who is specialized in black pepper, and he shared a ton of knowledge about black pepper. I was not even aware like there are so many varieties and there are so many grades of them, all that. So you have ton of knowledge and you can use that knowledge to create blog articles, and then that will help you get traffic and it will help you improve your authority on the internet for the search and AI as well. And one very simple exercise that I would encourage all of you should do. There's a platform called Answer the Public. You can go there and you can take any of your product. Let's say black pepper. So you type black pepper, it will show you what all people are asking on the internet. So it will give you a very long list. You download that, filter out the relevant ones. Now focus on the important ones and which are again keeping your target audience in mind, right? What I'm asking is irrelevant. If I'm your buyer who's going to import 10 tons of black pepper, yes, whatever I'm asking is important. So you'll have to put a little effort there, or again you can use AI to filter it out quickly and then identify, let's say, 10 questions which are important and for your potential customers. Now for those 10 questions you create blog articles as an answer to those 10 questions. That's where you will keep on doing that activity, right? So target on doing one or two blog articles every week and keep doing that. So every month, if you're doing one every week, that would mean four. If you're doing two every week, that would mean eight. Creating eight blog articles is not a very difficult activity. You can easily do that very, very quickly. Spending like 1 hour possibly every month, you'll be able to manage eight blog articles very easily. So keep doing that exercise. Invest 1 or 2 hours every month on creating this, and plus social media is also important. Again, something which I unfortunately see even in today's day age, 2026, people struggling because you can use AI with social media very, very effectively. That's where you can create your content calendars, and based on the content calendar you can create the content, and then once that content is created, you can even use scheduling platforms to schedule it. So every month you have to possibly spend 2 or 3 hours, and your entire month of content is created, scheduled, and it is all ready to go. You don't have to every day spend time and energy onto it. That's spending few hours, but you'll be able to manage it, and that also improves your AI credibility and trust, right? Now, AI is the future, and I don't think we will argue on that or anyone will argue on that. That's where buyers are now actively using ChatGPT, Gemini's, etc. And that's where you have to be future proofing your business. You have to be ensuring that your business is AI discoverable. Now, to make your business AI discoverable, what is the most important asset that you have? You to make your website so that ChatGPT understands about your business. What is that one thing where you should be focusing? Any guesses from the audience? We can share that in the chat. So, what is the most important thing for AI discoverability, or most important asset that you have? Any Okay, so Ravi ji has been the first one to respond. Entity and FAQs, words. All right, so I think I haven't been clear with my question. My question is, what is the most important asset? Asset, I meant like your website, your marketplace, your social media, your Google My Business listing. So, which is the most important one? The answer is your website. That is the source. That's where it will come. AI will come, no matter which AI it is. They will all come to your website to understand about you, to find about you. Yes, it will also reference all your social media, so it is not like it will just come, but majority of its understanding will come from your website, right? So that's the most important asset that you have, right? And that's where all the elements come in place. So whatever I had been talking, whether it is information about your business, your certification and compliance, your product, all that comes together to provide you the right discoverability. But at the same time, you have to ensure that your website has the schema structure, because otherwise AI will not be able to understand. And I had been saying that for some time. Let me show you. So there is this tool called schema validator. Using that, you can very easily validate or check whether your website has schema. So I've just copied the URL of the product that we were seeing earlier, and I've just given it to this particular tool. It takes few seconds to give a response. I am not sure. Probably it is not working, or let me go and check. There may be an issue that I added some long URL. Let me try to do that once again. Yes, here you can see. So it should be clear about the organization. Now, using these tags, it knows that this product belongs to this particular organization. And this is where you have the entire product detail. So this is important, because even if you have a beautiful page and which has all the information, but if it is not in the schema markup structure, AI will find it very, very difficult to understand. So this is very, very crucial for AI discoverability, because your website is the source, and without this kind of content structure, it becomes quite difficult for AI to understand, right? The next thing is the content structure which comes for AI discoverability. I have already spoken about it, that AI hates long form content. So that's where it should be ideally bullet points, or short paragraphs, not more than 4 sentences long. So anything which you are adding, try to have short paragraphs. It should be like 1 or 2 lines maximum, or 4 lines maximum, nothing more than that. And then bullet points, FAQs, because generally when we are interacting with AI, we are putting a question, right? Find me this, find me a supplier of black pepper, and the grade is Malabar, and or the type is Malabar and grade is M1, right? So that kind of question I will be asking. Now, this is where again you'll have to put in some effort, try to understand what are the those questions, and then you can create a FAQ page, and where all those questions. In fact, let me see if I can show you an example. I was interacting with someone and I showed, yeah, here. So there's where you have FAQ page, and although it says it is for importers, but it is actually for AI, and that's where you have these questions and you have the answers available. Again, the response should not be long paragraph, short paragraphs and bullet points, so that AI has the ready response, and that's where your chances of being up top on the top of the list, or being recommended, increases exponentially. So it is not just that you're creating the content, you have to be very mindful that you are also creating or formatting the content in a way that AI can consume it. And then at the back end, you have all the technology structure that also allows you. Another thing which you have to be very careful of, that like search, uh, search also crawls the content which is there on your website. Similarly, AI also crawls, but AI don't have a capability, or a lot of them lack the capability to render the content and then make sense of it. So that's where your infrastructure or your server uh, should also have a capability that when they are crawling, it gets rendered at the server side as well, so that these crawlers are able to understand it in a better way. So that's also something which you can check with your developer, or if you're doing it yourself, you can ensure that, so that AI understands your business in a better way. So where the optimization has to happen, so it is the most important one, and the product, because obviously people are searching for the product. Your company information, visible fact about your organization, authoritative content, so blog articles, and then your proof, so certifications, etc. Your export case studies, all that should be added. Now, case studies and social proof is very, very important. Any exporter I am talking, or any B2B business I'm talking, I always ask them, like, you have so many interesting stories and you keep telling me those interesting story. Why don't you just add them to your website? It will add a lot of value and a lot of weightage and a lot of trustworthiness and credibility and all that. You'll get all that benefit. Why are you not doing that? Please do add these case studies and social proofs that you have, so that will help you significantly. Social proof also includes your customers reviews, your testimonials, etc. Try to have that. Common digital pitfalls, and this is a very, very big mistake. Thankfully, and this is where I am so thankful that AI is here, because otherwise, this was a very common mistake I used to see in a website. And how it used to happen, I'll tell you. So, a business, let's see, I'm a business owner. So, I have to create a website. Now, what I will do is I'll hire an agency and tell them, like, create it yourself. I'm not going to get involved. I've hired you. I've given you the money. You do it. Now that fellow, obviously, they're not interested in your business. And I'm not saying that every agency is like that, but generally, human psychology, why would they be more interested in creating unique content? So they also take shortcuts. They'll find someone who's similar to you, and they'll just copy paste the content and then add it to your website. And that's where there was so many websites which had the same content. Even today, a lot of websites you'll go and you'll see they have these testimonials which have images of the person. Now just right click on it and use Google Lens, or if you have smartphone in front of your screen, use Google Lens and search that same person. Most of the time you'll find that same person's image is on 10 different websites or 50 different websites, and the person has different names. Say he has the John Smith as the name here, and some Jacob name somewhere else, right? So those kind of things are still happening. Now try to avoid doing that. Obviously you shouldn't be copy pasting, avoid using low resolution images. Now in related to images, uh, another very destructive fascination which I've seen with people is the fascination with high resolution images. So they believe that if I'm adding like high resolution images, my website will look so impressive, and the person will immediately get wowed, and they will immediately do business with us. That is absolutely suicidal to do, because that makes your website slow. And if the person is not even able to access your website, how is that person going to get wowed and then get impressed, right? So, firstly, they should be able to access it. That's where the load speed becomes slow if you are adding really heavy images. So, try to achieve whatever lowest size that you can achieve, ideally below 1 MB, and then you should be uploading. At the same time, they should not be low resolution images wherein it looks blurry and the person is not able to understand or appreciate. Second is the different aspect ratio. So a lot of time you may see on the website that there's a portrait image and immediately next to it is a square image. Right, so a vertical portrait image, and then immediately next to it is a square image. It looks very bad. It looks very uh, asymmetrical. So for a moment, if I can go and show you, I don't think we'll have that anomaly here, but here you can see they are all of the same size, and how nice they're looking. Now, if this was portrait and this was square, it will look very, very bad. So try to have the same aspect ratio. If they are portrait, everything should be portrait, and this consistency should be there on the website. Every image, if you are deciding portrait, all are portrait. There's no exception to it. If they are square, all are square. There can be category-wise exceptions wherein there are certain categories wherein obviously portrait may not look nice, so that's where you're going square. Yes, you can do that, but in that category, then again, everything. If you are going with a different aspect ratio in a particular category, yes, you can do that. But again, it should not have any other aspect ratio. It should be all the same. If you're going square, in that category everything is square. If you're going portrait, in that category everything, or otherwise if you don't have that category type of uh, complication, then everything should have the same aspect ratio. Otherwise it will look way weird and very unprofessional as well. Not updating the content for years, that is also a very, very bad practice. You should be regularly updating the content and making it newer. Now, it is not necessary that you should be updating about us, etc. Wherever changes are happening, you should be updating them. And blog articles is something that you should be regularly adding on your website. Now, this is something which I unintentionally added, but I recalled one of the gentlemen asking me this question, like, what should be focusing on, the marketplace versus website? So there should not be a versus. There should not be a versus. Understand, and this is something which I remember from one of my very early mentors. So I was having this conversation, the same conversation, like as a seller, where should I be, on the marketplace, on my website? So a very, very simple example that he gave me, or a very simple answer, and it has stuck with me all this while, is that you can either be a product specialist or you can be a customer specialist. If you're a product specialist means sellers like us. So as a seller, wherever my customer touch points are, it is my duty to be present there. So if my customer is on a marketplace, it's my duty. If the customer is on the internet looking for my website, I should be there, or wherever my customer is, that should be there. At the same time, if you are in the customer specialist like the marketplaces, then every type of product that your customer wants should be there with you. So that's the other part of it. So it should not be versus, it should be there. Obviously, your website has the advantage. You have better brand control and you don't have price competition, but marketplaces have their own advantages as well. It increases your visibility. So as a seller, or my personal advice to you as sellers, is that you should be visible or there at every possible customer touch point. All right, so the winning formula is SEO plus trust plus technology. So the roadmap is focus on Google search, AI, and then web presence, and that will get you the international buyers that you're looking for. That's where the key takeaway and the most important is your website, your B2B website, adoptive the SEO first strategy, and everything that you're creating, it has to be AI ready. All right. So visibility is the success. If your buyers or AI is not able to find you or understand you, that's where you will face challenges. And this is where we'll conclude the presentation, or stop the screen share. Sorry, one important thing forgot sharing before we move ahead, or before we get into the question answer round. Now, a lot of time when I get into these consultation sessions, sorry, I think yeah. So when I get into these interactive sessions or visibility review sessions, so I also review websites of businesses, or do a digital visibility review, and help businesses understand where the gaps are so that they can work on filling those gaps. Now, a lot of time when we are doing these reviews, we get these requests, and we had been getting these requests quite often, that, okay, we want to make our business better, more discoverable, and AI ready as well. But doing it ourselves and with the current technology partner is very, very difficult. We are totally dependent. They are not responding, etc., etc. So there were so many requests coming to us. So that's where we created a service which is called the Done for Me B2B website setup service. This is available. So if any one of you is interested in availing this service, I'll share the link in the chat. You can proceed ahead and you can avail the service. Now, all the examples which I was showing you, I'm just sharing the link in the chat. They are all businesses. So this example which I was showing you, this is one of the business which has availed this service, and they have also got benefit from it. They have received an order from Italy. Similarly, this business which I was showing you, they have also received an order from US for, I think, rice. So yes, they are getting benefit as well. So this service is available for you to utilize. Now, because this service is purely focused around making the business AI discoverable, or if I have to just say it differently, in making business AI understandable so that AI understands about that business. If they're able to understand, then obviously you have to work on making it or increasing your discoverability. But the first milestone or the first hurdle is to make it AI understandable. And that's where it is entirely pivoted around that. So that's where we do the product upload. And product upload is not just uploading the information, it is enhancing, optimizing every piece, every word which is uploaded, and then uploading it, right? So it goes through a extensive search engine optimization, AI content optimization, and then it is uploaded. So an entire meta update is included into that. And then business information, that's where again many businesses were lacking. So we create that content, so you don't have to get involved into it. So whatever business information you have, you provide that, and then we'll create all that. And then for the SEO, so we do the research, we do the meta update, and we also create minimum 5 blog articles, and then we integrate your website with Google Search Console to help you with indexing. Design wise, we have a theme based model, so wherein we will help you choose a suitable theme, and then our team will design the banners and do the color customization. We will also list your products on Global Income Marketplace and Indian Business Portal, two marketplaces that we have. Both cater to international buyers, and Global Income Marketplace also caters to domestic buyers. If you're someone who is interested in online selling, we can also list your products on ONDC, which is Open Network for Digital Commerce, which is a Government of India's initiative to democratize e-commerce in India. Now, we also optimize your global inker profile. Now, I am not sure how many of you have actually tried this, but if you go to Google and try searching for yourself, search for yourself, you'll find global inker appearing in the search result. And a lot of time, it even outranks the company's website because it there's a lot of SEO effort at the back end. But we also optimize it. So we optimize all the visuals and the description which is there. Obviously, it is important for two reasons. One is for SEO. Second is if the profile is poorly set up, then obviously the buyer may not be very interested or very convinced to click on send inquiry and move ahead. So that's where we also optimize your profile. And then lastly, because our platform is a DIY platform, which means it is a no code solution. So anyone can use it. If you can do a copy paste, you can very easily and effortlessly manage the entire website. But we will familiarize you. We'll do 2 training sessions with you. We'll familiarize you. And there will be a dedicated project manager who will be overseeing your project. So that is there. Now, with regards to commercials, the we are offering a introductory discount here. The price for this service is 40,000 rupees plus taxes, but we are offering it at 24,999 plus taxes, and it includes the platform subscription for the first year. From the second year onwards, you just have to pay 4,999 for the first year, which includes our service cost also. It is 24,999. Right. So this is a service which is available. If you're interested, you can subscribe to this, or if you want to discuss and understand it further, you can reach out to me. I will be happy to answer any of your questions or queries. All right. So I'm also sharing with you my contact details in the chat. So this is where I'll stop the screen share and we'll break into the question answer round. Let me see if we have questions. All right. All right. So there's a question from Deepesh G. Can you suggest something for merchant exporter? In fact, that agri product example I was showing you is from merchant exporter only. So they have utilized our service and they have now even benefited with an order from US. Okay, so there's a chat from Ashish ji. I've already generated my FIO profile. Will I get inquiries? That will depend on how detailed and how rich is your profile. So you can share the details with me. I think I've already shared my contact details. I'll do that once again in the chat. So you can email me the link of your profile. I'll review it and I'll share with you what are the gaps or what are the areas of improvement that can help you get better visibility. Okay, Anirudh has shared his website URL. So Anirudh I will just open it here and I'll try to review it and get back to you as soon as possible. Next question is from Prateek Ji. So they are into bioculture manufacturer and they have created the account. Now they want to sell on Global Linker. Sure, Prateek Ji, you can drop me an email and I will reach out to you, or I will have someone from our team connect with you and they'll guide you. Uh, okay, so next question is from Parichit. So any deal for startups? So yes, Parichit ji, you can reach out to me. You can drop an email with your details, and I can talk internally, and I'll try to get an approval or a special discount for you. Okay, so next question is from Abhishek ji. I was just reading his question, so that's why it took me sometimes. And his question is he's into uh, jewelry export and as a merchant exporter. So his question is as compared to the manufacturer exporter, how do we compete, how do we present ourselves? So I was mentioning this, or in fact I remember mentioning this when I was explaining about the factory visual. So if you are a merchant exporter, obviously you don't have a factory or you can showcase the factory, but you can showcase the quality compliance and quality check processes, etc., that you're following. So you can talk around that, what you are doing to add value to the customer. So you should be talking around that. All right, so that's there. Next question is from Mr. Ravi. His question: if we have 2 lakh SKUs, can we list them on Global Linker? Yes, you can do that, but there will be special pricing for it, obviously, because the resource requirement will be on a higher side. But yes, certainly you can do that. Next question is from Aruna Srinivas. And Aruna ji, so you are a startup in global market and some idea of exporting. So today's session was around digital visibility or how you can create your B2B website. But you can drop me an email and I'll connect you with a FEO official who will guide you how you can expand your export or what else can you do to reach to other markets. You can certainly drop me an email and I'll connect you with the right person. Next question is from Ravi ji. Do you provide consultation service? So I do review, or we do have a service which is digital visibility review. So you can avail of that service. You can drop me an email and I'll share more details about that. All right. So I think there's a lead for Abhishek ji. So Abhishek ji mentioned that they are into jewelry export, and then there's a message from Amisha. They looking for merchant exporter. So Abhishek ji, you can connect and take forward the lead. Let's look at the Q&A. Okay, so next question is from Swarna, and the question is kind of logical for a new exporter. What will be the case studies? So obviously, you don't have the case studies, but that's where you can be more focused around the value adds that you are bringing on the table. So whether it is sustainable sourcing or anything ecological or environmental that you are including, or what is the value add that you're bringing? So that should be the focus, but as the case studies. And then another angle to it is one, we are just looking at it very microscopically, which means that case studies should not only be limited to the clients that we have served or benefited. It can be about the artisans, it can be about the heritage, it can be around the region from where we are sourcing, around that and what kind of impact, right? So if you just think about it and think little openly, not limiting yourself with the buyer, you'll be able to create multiple case studies, and God knows, it may be of interest and use to your potential buyer. All right, so Anirudh, I think I have your website open. So I'll review it and I'll share my inputs. Okay, so there is a very interesting and important message from Mr. Bala Subramaniam. Is He's shared his concern that we have received a lead on Global Incar, but we didn't receive the notification. So right now, Mr. Bala Subramaniam, I will request you log into your account and go to settings, and that's where enable WhatsApp notification. So if you go to settings, that's where you have WhatsApp notification. So enable that. So immediately there's a lead, you will get a WhatsApp notification. Second thing which I would request all of you to do immediately is download the Global Linker mobile application. Download that and enable notification. So the moment you the moment you receive a lead, there's a buyer message, you will get immediately notified. So these two things you should be doing right away. All right. So all right. The next question we have is from Swarna. And the question is, do you suggest single website for different products or for products from multiple categories? Yes, it should be a single website. Managing multiple websites is going to be a nightmare unless you are a very large business and you have those resources. It should be one website. And for it is very common for merchant exporters to have very diverse categories. We have people who deal in agri product, and at the other end they are also exporting aluminum ingots, etc., minerals, they are exporting. Yes, certainly. So for whatever you are doing, everything is there on just one website. All right. Perfect. So this is where we can conclude the session for today. I'm not seeing any other message, or I am not seeing any other question. So this is where we'll conclude the session for today. If you need any further guidance, or if you want to get your website reviews, please drop me an email and I'll be more than happy to review it and share my input. All right. Perfect. So let's work on making your business more discoverable, and at least making it understandable by AI. All right. So perfect. Thank you. Thanks for your time. Have a wonderful evening ahead. Bye bye.